in color. The continuing story of Peyton Place. Starring Ed Nelson as Michael Rossi. Ryan O'Neal as Rodney Harrington. Barbara Parkins as Betty Anderson. Christopher Connolly as Norman Harrington. Patricia Morrow as Rita Harrington. James Douglas as Stephen Cord. Elizabeth Walker as Carolyn Russell. And also starring Barbara Rush as Marcia Russell.
Tonight, Betty Harrington faces another visit to Doctor's Hospital, knowing that her recuperating husband, Rodney, cannot get rid of his doubts about her. Doubts that were based on the fact that Betty was driving with Stephen Cord when the accident occurred. Doubts that Rodney himself has fought against. But here, waiting for the sensation of feeling to return to his lower body, Rodney can only live in fantasy. And when his wife is even a few minutes late for visiting hours, he cannot help himself from thinking she would prefer to be elsewhere.
Hi.
Well, fruit juice or milk?
Jill Smith in uniform.
I know, I don't believe it myself. I gave up the job with the Reverend.
I know, I heard. I didn't know you were working at the hospital, though. Guess I should get around more, huh? You didn't happen to see my wife in the corridor, did you?
No, I'm afraid not.
Oh, well, she probably stopped by Dr. Rossi's office.
I can check in his office.
No, that's all right. She'll be by. So you're a nurse's aide now, huh?
Yep, I've gone respectable. At least I'm trying to.
Norman told me about Kelly. I'm sorry, that's a bad break for you.
He and Rita are taking wonderful care of her, though. What would you like? Orange, pineapple, milk, ginger ale?
You can get me my wife if you find her out there.
Oh, hello, Jill. We give service. Betty. Excuse me.
That was good. That was even better.
I was beginning to think that maybe you weren't coming.
Why?
I don't know. Something might have come up.
Nothing's important enough to keep me away from you. You're going to make a fuss every time I'm a few minutes late.
7 minutes late.
Well, if you've got to be technical.
I get lonely.
Well, you got, Jill to entertain you.
Jill isn't you. Speaking of Jill, have you been up to see Norman and Rita since they took the baby?
I haven't been anywhere.
Well, that's not good, Betty. You shouldn't be alone. I mean, those days can be pretty long.
Well, I thought I'd ask Norman if I could help out at the shop.
That would be good. But that still doesn't take care of the nights. I should think they'd be the hardest.
Well, my evenings are half over when I leave here. I mean, I walk home and I read a book and, whistle a few tunes, and then I go to bed.
You don't have to come over here a dozen times a day.
But I don't ever want to leave.
Oh, I bet you say that to all the boys.
Is this your sneaky way of telling me you're getting bored with my company?
Are you kidding? I count the minutes before you get here. I just don't want you dragging yourself over here every evening if it's just out of a sense of duty.
Duty?
I mean, you should take a night off once in a while. See a movie.
No, sir. Not unless you can come along with me, hold my hand, and buy me popcorn.
I'm serious, Betty.
Well, so am I. I want to be with you.
It's a cheat. Don't you see that? Every time you kiss me, it sends a shiver down my spine. Only now it stops halfway.
Well, I can be patient as long as I know you love me.
I could tell you 100 times a day I love you. How do I prove it?
By getting better and coming home to me. Now, don't you want that? Rod, I want to spend the rest of my life with you any way I can.
There's only one way for a man and a woman to be together. And that's living as man and wife and raising a family. You want children, don't you? Don't you?
Yes. As long as I know they can be yours.
Well, there's a very good chance that they can't.
Rod, we can live a full life without them.
What kind of a full life? You've got needs, you've got feelings. How long you...
Forever. For the rest of my life.
You say that now, because you love me now. But how long will that go on?
Forever.
Oh, Betty, don't throw your life away on me because of...
The accident? How it happened? Stephen. Rod, what I feel for you is not guilt.
Well, then call it love. But it won't stay love long. Betty, if my body doesn't come back all the way, you and I are going to have to decide where we go from there.
No.
I don't think I could handle an arrangement.
An arrangement? Rod, if you really believed that I could be unfaithful, why did you marry me?
Because things were different then.
Not if you really believed me. Not if you really trusted me.
You're a beautiful woman, a very desirable woman. There'll always be men who want you.
No. There could never be anyone else.
Oh, you'll fight it. But sooner or later, it'll happen.
No.
With Stephen. Or some other man. Yes, I'll understand. But I don't think I could pull it. Oh, Betty, is a kiss gonna be enough?
Man, if I can't trust you to be more careful with her.
We'll take off the boxing gloves. She's safe. Aren't you, Butch?
Butch.
I'll get it. Come.
Come here.
There. Oh, hi, Betty. Hi.
Hi. You said something about dinner. I didn't know what was happening.
Oh, no, that's the last time I'll trust Norm to deliver an invitation.
Well, quit playing Madam Host and put some more water in the soup. Betty isn't company. She's family.
We'll eat as soon as I feed her, okay? Doggy, you hold her, okay, Norm?
I'll take her.
Do you mind?
Oh, I love it. Come on. Oh, a big girl.
Were you at the hospital?
Uh-huh.
How's Rod?
Oh, he's fine.
What is it, Betty? What's the matter?
Oh, nothing really.
He didn't have a setback, did he?
No, he was just in a mood.
Bad mood?
I was 7 minutes late.
Oh, he just chewed you out, huh?
Well, he wasn't angry. He just decided that I'd rather be someplace else.
Did he say where?
Norman, you were right. He is upset about Stephen, much more than I realized. He brought up the accident.
What'd you tell him?
Well, I didn't get a chance. He didn't want to know why I was there. He didn't ask for any explanations. What?
Then why'd you mention it?
Because he doesn't want me to stay with him out of guilt.
That doesn't sound like Rod.
He obviously thinks that if I'm not already having an affair with Stephen, it's just a matter of time.
Well, you gotta convince him that he's wrong.
Well, if I swear to him that nothing's going to happen in the future, that's still only words. And I can't make him believe them. I've tried.
Norm, maybe if you could talk to Rod.
What am I gonna do? Say, hey, man, don't worry, your house isn't gonna catch on fire. Right away, he'd start smelling smoke. Look, it'd be worse if I talked to him.
Well, something's got to be done, not for my sake, but for Rod's. I mean, the longer he sits there and broods about what I'm going to be doing behind his back while he sits there in that wheelchair for the rest of his life, the less of a chance he'll have of getting out of it. Now, if I have any guilt, that's it.
Norm, I think I'll give Kelly this in the bedroom. I'll be right back.
You know, Dr. Miles asked me the other day if anything was bothering him. Anything personal. I just couldn't answer it. Norman, would you give my excuses to Rita?
What, you're not going to stay for dinner?
No, I'd rather go home. I'd like to be alone.
Betty, I wish I could give you an answer.
I wonder if there is an answer. Good night.
Come in.
The nurse said that you wanted to see me.
You looking for Dr. Rawson?
Miss Choate said that you wanted to see me before I went off duty.
Yeah, did you have any trouble today?
No, I'm trying to think if I counted the sheets wrong or I gave someone orange juice instead of ginger ale or... Okay, what'd I do?
You really have a lot of confidence in yourself, don't you?
Well, I must have done something wrong.
Jill, do you know a Dr. Peter Turner? He's a resident on surgery.
Did I forget to salute?
Do you know any other reason why he might have been attracted to you?
No.
Sit down, sit down. He was sitting a couple of tables across from you in the cafeteria at lunch today. You don't, He's Dr. Turner is he's a 26-year-old, very attractive young bachelor. And you're a very pretty young girl.
And you're matchmaking.
Well, look, he just wants to know if it's possible that you want to go to the movies with him. He's off on Friday nights.
Well, why doesn't he ask me himself?
Well, it'd just be a little awkward, that's all. He's kind of self-conscious a little bit, and well, it wouldn't be professional for him to talk to you in a corridor and all.
How hard did you have to twist his arm?
Practically off at the shoulder. No, to tell you the truth, he twisted my arm. He really wants to meet you.
Well, tell him I don't go on dates.
Jill, listen to me. I mean, why not? I mean, besides for having fun, I mean, it's time you meet some eligible young men.
Husband hunting?
Well, I understand it's a pretty pleasant pastime for girls your age.
Well, I'm kind of a special case.
Why, because of Kelly?
Well, most men aren't looking for a ready-made family.
She's a very appealing baby.
And I can see how you'd like to have us off from around your neck.
Now, do you really think that?
Look, just because Joe dumped us in your lap like he does everything else, that's no reason for you to keep us.
It's a strange thought.
Man, well, how come the date bureau?
Well, I just want you and Kelly to be happy, that's all. No other reason. Look, if I thought that you and Joe had any future...
We don't. I'm sorry. I'm just used to men being after something, you know? About this Dr.
Turner.
Well, maybe when the time's right.
Now, when will the time be right?
Mrs. Winter's going to court. She's going to name me as a, you know...
Correspondent.
Maybe when that dies down. And in a small town, that should die down in about 50 or 60 years. And then I'd like to meet someone who hasn't messed up his life. Besides Kelly's only and favorite uncle. Okay?
Okay.
Am I through?
Yeah, you're through. Get out of here.